As we bring this course to a close, it is time to tie everything together, from wildfire behavior and Firewise principles to defensible space, disclosure, and real-world transaction risk. This final section focuses on one of the most important tools available to real estate professionals, natural hazard disclosure, NHD reports, and how they fit into a complete risk management strategy. This is where preparation, knowledge, and compliance all come together to protect your client and your license. Have a plan. The role of natural hazard disclosure in today's market. In today's Arizona real estate environment, hazard awareness is no longer optional, it is expected. Buyers want transparency, lenders require due diligence, and agents must operate at a higher level of professionalism than ever before. Natural hazard disclosure reports are designed to assist in identifying risks associated with a property, including wildfire hazards, flood zones, and other environmental concerns. These reports provide a structured third-party analysis that supports both buyers and sellers in making informed decisions. For example, when a buyer is purchasing a home in a wildfire-prone area such as Prescott, Flagstaff, or Payson, an NHD report can help identify the level of hazard exposure and provide clarity on potential risks tied to the property. This ties directly into AAC R4-28U11-001 and your duty to exercise reasonable care, as well as ARS, paragraph 32-2153, regarding disclosure of material facts. Understanding MyNHD, who, what, and why. With over 20 years of experience, MyNHD has become an industry-standard provider of natural hazard disclosure reports. Their system is designed to simplify the disclosure process while providing comprehensive protection for all parties involved. The purpose of MyNHD is straightforward. They do the work, and you get the protection. By utilizing a third-party disclosure provider, agents and sellers can reduce their liability exposure while ensuring that proper disclosures are made. For example, instead of an agent attempting to independently research hazard zones, which could lead to errors, a third-party provider compiles the data into a professional report that is delivered directly to the parties involved. This creates consistency, accuracy, and efficiency in the transaction process. Safe harbor protection, reducing liability. One of the most important benefits of using a third-party NHD provider is the concept of safe harbor. When a seller and agent rely on a qualified third-party disclosure company, certain liability protections may apply. MyNHD carries $10 million in errors and omissions, E&O insurance, which provides coverage for all parties in the transaction. This means that if an error occurs within the report, the liability may shift to the disclosure provider rather than the agent or seller. However, it is important to understand that safe harbor is not absolute. Agents must still act in good faith, disclose known material facts, and avoid misrepresentation. For example, if an agent is aware of a wildfire risk that is not reflected in the report and fails to disclose it, they may still be held accountable. This reinforces the principle we have discussed throughout this course. Third-party tools support your role. They do not replace it. What is included in an NHD report? A typical natural hazard disclosure report includes several key components: an invoice page and summary page for quick reference, a natural hazard disclosure statement outlining identified risks, federal, state, and local determinations and notices, information on taxes, special assessments, and applicable districts. These reports are designed to be clear, organized, and easy to understand, allowing both buyers and sellers to review hazard-related information efficiently. For example, a buyer reviewing an NHD report may discover that a property is located within a wildfire hazard area or subject to certain environmental considerations. This information can influence their decision-making, negotiation strategy, or insurance planning. Delivery, cost, and practical use in transactions. NHD reports are typically delivered electronically, allowing for quick access and integration into the transaction process. Agents receive notification when the report is ready and can share it with their clients as part of the disclosure package. One of the key advantages is the no close, no pay structure. If the transaction does not close, the cost of the report is typically not incurred. This makes it a low-risk, high-value tool for agents and sellers. For example, ordering an NHD report at the time of listing ensures that disclosure information is available early, reducing delays and increasing transparency. First American NHD, supporting due diligence. In addition to MyNHD, providers such as First American offer natural hazard disclosure reports that assist buyers in conducting due diligence before entering into a purchase contract. These reports are designed to clearly identify hazards that the state considers important in a real estate transaction, helping buyers understand potential risks and sellers disclose them up front. This reinforces a key concept. Disclosure is not just about compliance. It is about creating informed, confident transactions. Real estate application, putting it all together. Let's connect everything we have learned throughout this course. A successful transaction in today's Arizona market begins with understanding the environment. This includes recognizing wildfire risk, implementing defensible space, and identifying potential hazards. From there, it moves into disclosure, ensuring that all material facts are communicated clearly and accurately. Tools like NHD reports support this process by providing structured third-party information. Finally, the transaction is managed through negotiation, inspection, and closing, with risk mitigation at every step. For example, a listing agent who orders an NHD report early advises their seller on defensible space and ensures proper disclosure is positioning the transaction for success. A buyer's agent who reviews the report, identifies potential risks, and guides their client through mitigation strategies is providing true professional value. This is what modern real estate practice looks like. Final takeaway: the complete professional. As we conclude, remember that real estate today is about more than contracts and closings. It is about risk management, education, and professionalism. You are not just a facilitator. You are an advisor, a guide, and a protector of your client's interests. By understanding wildfire risk, implementing Firewise principles, recognizing defensible space, and utilizing tools like natural hazard disclosure reports, you elevate your practice to the highest level. This is how you protect your clients. This is how you protect your transactions. And this is how you protect your career. Online discussion. Why is a natural hazard disclosure report important in a real estate transaction? Answer: because it identifies environmental risks that may impact the property, helping buyers make informed decisions and ensuring sellers meet disclosure requirements. How does safe harbor protection benefit agents and sellers? Answer: it can transfer certain liability to a third-party disclosure provider, reducing risk when accurate reports are used properly. Why should NHD reports be ordered early in the transaction process? Answer: to provide transparency, avoid delays, and allow buyers time to evaluate risks before closing.